to everyone tuning into my channel and my video. If you do not know who I am, my name is Megan Griffin. I am a horse trainer and instructor in Northeast Georgia. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, please go follow me at M Performance and look me up on Facebook at M Performance and Training. Today I'm going to do a product review on Best Ever saddle pads. This is just my opinion. I am not sponsored by them in any way. I have a few other saddle pads for comparison. I know when I made the decision to try to purchase one, I could not find many reviews on YouTube or Google, so I hope this helps someone in some way. Also, you have to excuse me for my attire and my messiness this morning. I just got done riding and doing chores, so just bear with me. I'm trying to get through this before my little baby wakes up. These two saddle pads are my Best Ever saddle pads. I have the 3/4 inch OG saddle pad, and I also have the 1/2 inch OG with the BHS insert. It's a closed cell foam insert. I have these for two different horses. I have the 3/4 inch for a barrel horse that the saddle fits great on. So I just wanted something. I didn't really want to go with a 1/2 inch. I think that's just a little too thin for me, but that's just my preference. This 1/2 inch BHS, this foam insert is 1/8 of an inch, so it adds an extra 1/8 of an inch. I have a horse with extremely high withers. Just the way he's built, he doesn't need any weight added or anything. So if you have a horse like me that's just high withered, you have problems with saddles fitting right over his withers. I kept getting little dry spots. I've tried different pads, I just couldn't find one, and I love this saddle pad. You can't even really tell that there's an insert in there. They do a really good job. I love both of these pads. I'm very pleased with them. I only have about 20 to 30 rides in them. They seem to be holding up really good. I'll show you the inside. I know I need to wash them, but it's just like any other saddle pad, any wool saddle pad. They're holding up very well. The only thing that I can say about them is they do have the cush, which I think is an extra $50. It has the more compressed wool, and it's definitely going to be a little bit higher quality. As you can see where this seems like it's not as compressed and it's kind of pulling apart. It's not too bad. It's just, you can tell when it gets worn more, it's going to definitely show its wear and tear. Another saddle pad I have for comparison is this Ed saddle pad. I rode in these forever and ever and ever. They are a really good saddle pad. I will not knock them at all. I have enjoyed them for many years. This one I think is like 3 or 4 years old, and you can see that it's been used. The only thing that I can say about these saddle pads is once you do ride in it and start getting sweat and start washing it, it does fall apart a little bit. That's the only negative I have about the saddle pad, but everything else about the saddle pad has made me really happy. I used it on my good barrel horse, my 1D barrel horse, for the longest time. You can see these inserts here are supposed to kind of do the same as my Best Ever BHS pad. It just wasn't enough for the younger horse that I have now. They also come without the inserts, and I think you can get these pads in a 3/4 and an inch. I believe they're about $160. Don't quote me on that. You'll have to go on their website, which I believe is Ed&Martha Right. You can just Google that, or go on it's /W barrel horses. The other saddle pad I have for comparison is this diamond wool pad. This is a 3/4 inch with removable inserts throughout the pad. I also have enjoyed this pad. As you can tell, it is old, it is worn out. This is more so what I use when I'm breaking my horses. I have had this pad forever, and I am so pleased with how it has held up. It is doing amazing. I still use it to this day. The outside's a little beat up, but the inside, there's nothing wrong with this saddle pad, and I love it. Like I said, I just use it on my horses that I have in for breaking or training. If I do have a saddle fit issue, I can take out or insert specific areas. I don't know what this pad would run new now. You can go on the Diamond Wool site and look it up, but I am also very pleased with this saddle pad. So I'm starting with the Diamond Wool pad. I'm dropping from, I don't know, I would say about 5 foot. You see it has a little bounce, not much. Next is the Best Ever BHS saddle pad with the foam insert. There is hardly any bounce. Next will be the OG 3/4 inch Best Ever pad. Has a little more bounce than the Diamond Wool, but it's about the same thickness. Last is the Ed&Martha saddle pad. It has a little bounce, but like I said, I've used this for years, but it does have more bounce than the rest of the saddle pads. Now let's talk numbers. When you do your research, these can kind of vary as far as leathers, customizable options, what kind of saddle pad you're looking for, but honestly, for your best buck, I think you're better off going with the Best Ever saddle pad. And I don't have a 5-star saddle pad to compare with, but in my honest opinion, having ridden in 5-star saddle pads, I can say that the Best Ever saddle pad is about just as good. I'm sure the cush would be extremely similar. It's that higher packed wool. I just chose not to go with that. I tried to do the OG, which I'm very happy with. Price wise, definitely the Best Ever is going to beat out the 5-star. When you start customizing, obviously it's going to add more. You can do tassels, studs, bling, customizable personal brands. I mean, they make it very open to you. I think that's a really cool feature of Best Ever. Like I said, the 5-stars are awesome. I don't knock them at all. I think as far as value and price that the Best Evers would probably be right up there in comparison. The one saddle pad that I don't have, that I've heard a lot of good things about, I've only ridden in one maybe once or twice, is the CSI saddle pads. I personally don't feel the need or have a horse that I feel like needs that saddle pad. Those are going to be a little bit pricier, around the 300-ish area. Where I think if you get just a plain Best Ever pad, it runs about 165 to 180. The BHS is more like 220 with the foam insert, which I'm very happy with. It has not broken down at all. The Ed&Martha saddle pads are about, I want to say 175. You'll have to look that up, and the Diamond Wools can range so much just on depending what you want to get. I like all of the saddle pads I've mentioned, but today I'm trying to stick to the Best Ever pad more than talking about everything. I'm really happy with it. I would give them probably an 8 out of 10. I enjoy the pad. I like how customizable it is. It's held up really well. The only thing that I am not as impressed with is the fact that that wool is kind of falling out more than I would like for how long I've had the saddle pad. Like I said, I maybe have like 30 or 40 rides in both of them. And I've had my Ed&Martha for years, 4 years, something like that. And none of the wool on the outside has pulled away, but like I showed you in the video, the inside is falling apart a little bit. Other than that, I can't really knock them. They seem like an awesome company, and I am proud to use their product, and I will recommend it to anybody that asks me what kind of saddle pad that they should use. So I hope that this helps somebody in some way and kind of gives you a little bit of an insight as to what the best ever saddle pads are. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. Please, like I said in the beginning, go follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I hope y'all have a blessed day.